Pace Morby. If you haven't heard of him, you will today. Phenomenal real estate investor. One of my favorite shows ever. I got 5 pages of notes. I'm not kidding. I took notes the whole time. I got 5 pages of little handwriting notes.
So if you're listening, folks, you can make some dough.
Can anybody get into this who's motivated?
1,000%.
Why aren't more people flocking into this?
This is the formula right here. It's called subject here. Bro, you're making me sick right now. Why would the bank let me do that?
But this guy seemed to come out of nowhere, and he's got an unbelievable following, tribe. He's got a top podcast. He's got the most popular TV show on A&E called Triple Digit Flip. But what's even more impressive is his heart to serve.
Pace Morby is the guy for all things real estate, and he does it all with something called creative financing.
It's going to be everything and anything you could ever want to know about creative financing.
When I watch Pace, you know what I see? I see a guy who got a whole universe of shoe-ins who told him, you can't do it that way. And he said, "Good, watch me."
Welcome to Get Creative, guys. Welcome to the show. We do this every Monday night at 7 p.m. Arizona time. Arizona does not change its time. So we stay at 7 o'clock all year long. Right now it's 10 o'clock Eastern, okay, and 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys for showing up for Get Creative tonight. We're going to be talking about proof that this business works. And we're going to be talking about also some of the biggest reasons why new people in this business have a hard time. I remember when I was first starting and looking back at myself, knowing what I know today, if I look back at myself from those days, I would tell you my biggest problem is that when I would have a curiosity, I just simply did not go look for the answer. I was expecting somebody to give me the answer. And so today on Get Creative, you guys will have questions in the side comments, okay? And we will talk about, like right now, we got Real Shishis says, "Hey Pace, can we talk about ARV for wholesaling, more in California market or LA County to be specific?" Absolutely. So I think your question, right? You're brand new. Your question tells me you're brand new because you're not asking the question the way I would ask the question, which just tells me you're new, and that's awesome. Here's the way I would ask that question. Hey Pace, if I'm in California, which by the way is a country by itself, and so is Napa Valley the same as San Diego? Is San Diego the same as San Francisco? Is San Francisco the same as Los Angeles? What about, I don't know, like up north, Sacramento? Are any of these cities anything like each other? Absolutely not. They could not be further from each other. And so you're not asking the question the way I would ask, which is, hey Pace, I'm in this specific market. Name a city, not a state, name a city. And I'm looking to wholesale. What percent of ARV should I be giving as a cash offer on my deals? Okay. That is the answer to that question, or that is the question I believe you're asking. So here's what I would be doing. I've got actually a really amazing training. I'm going to give it to you guys in the side chats, all about how to generate leads and how to use software that just creates the for you guys. If you're at a point in your business in 2024 where you are still comping properties and you're not utilizing technology, you're losing. And right here in the side chat, you've got a webpage I just shared. Okay. It is www.shore.by/HP8U. It's right there on the screen. Click on it, type it in, whatever you got to do. Go to that website. There on that website, I will give it to you guys. I'll show it to you guys. It is a 4-hour training on exactly how you can use software nowadays. Oh my gosh. This is what I was talking about at the very beginning. People that are just starting in this business, they won't watch this. Okay. They want to be spoon fed. They don't want to go to college. They don't want to do anything hard. They want to just be given the information and then immediately go out and make money. Cool. Love it. Here's what you should be doing. Go to this training. If you guys go to this webpage right here, I'll give you the link in the side chat. I already gave it to you. It was much shorter. It is a 275-minute training for free. And it teaches you how to use technology. That technology will come up with your ARV for you. In my opinion, I don't think you should ever comp another property. I'm sorry. I just think that people waste so much of their time comping properties and not talking to homeowners, and technology can do that all for you. Okay. Eric Weather says, I'm looking for a storage unit. Okay, Eric, watch how easy this is. Man, y'all making my life easy today. Watch how easy this is, Eric. Let's go to Crexy.com. Okay, Crexy.com. I'm going to go here. It's going to pop up a website, and I'm going to say storage facility. And it's going to pull up hundreds of storage facilities, my friend. There is no excuse for you not to find storage facilities. I just found 500 of them all over the country. You can even type in owner finance. This is something that I had Crexy add a while back. Okay, owner finance. Ooh, look at all these owner finance deals, my friend. You guys talking about how you need to use banks and all this kind of stuff. This is a filter that I trained Crexy on adding a couple of years ago. I can get storage facilities, gas stations, full-on land development, RV park right here. Okay, I can get all of these things on owner finance and avoid the bank. Every single one of these is on owner finance. Okay, there are storage facilities on owner finance, warehouses on owner finance, dirt on owner finance, and there's 60 pages of this. Okay, we could just go on and on and on. You want a hotel right here, owner finance, Colorado Steam Train Hotel. I bet that's actually really cool. Okay, there is no reason why you cannot go and do this thing we call real estate, especially creative finance real estate. I just gave it to you. Okay. No limit for life. San Diego, how to get started wholesaling here. Got my California. Okay. I'm going to give it to you guys again and again. The way to get started is you have to have an LLC. So go to startwithprime.com. Okay. Get your LLC at Start With Prime and then go generate leads. I gave you a 4-hour training. It's right here in the side comments right now. It says training on getting leads. And I have the link right there. Don't ask me that question about how do I get started in real estate if you haven't watched that 2-hour, 245-minute training. Okay. Dominique says, Crexy. It's Crexy, C-R-E-X-I, Crexy.com. Okay. Gabe says, only me and Jamil can comp faster than AI. Yeah, maybe. But the reality is I won't comp another property as long as I live. I'm going to spend my time communicating with homeowners, communicating with real estate agents, communicating with brokers, because that is the highest and best use of a real estate investor, in my personal opinion. Comping a property can be done with technology now. Guess what cannot be done with technology? Building rapport and like actual human connection with a seller cannot be done with technology yet. Okay. Richmond says, Pace, when's the next day with Pace? I've given away 50 weeks of my life to my students. I have 2 of them, Thursday and Friday, 12 students coming in on Thursday, 12 students coming in on Friday. And we are doing bucket list items on Thursday and Friday. I never let them know what we're doing. Sometimes it's jumping out of an airplane. Sometimes it's jumping out of a helicopter. Sometimes it's learning how to fly an airplane, or whitewater rafting, or fly fishing in Montana. But I have a lot of things going on this week. Before I get into some more Q&A, looks like we got some Q&A tonight, which is awesome. I've got a house in Montana that I bought with $1 down recently. And I am pouring concrete and getting ready for this amazing event called Community Camp that my students come up to every single July and September. I will have close to 2,000 people come up to my house in 2 days in Kalispell, Montana. And so we're getting a lot of things ready, pouring concrete, getting pickleball courts poured, getting play sets and trampolines installed, and getting the grass up and going, and planting new trees, and just creating an amazing environment for people to network and hang out with each other. Abram Torres, do you have a video on AI comping, or is it just the same link as you pasted above? Yep, it's the same link as the one I just pasted now for the 3rd time today. Go ahead and click on that. I promise you it will help you out. Tori Madden, Pace, I'm really looking forward to your Pace Gives program, praying that opportunity find a home daily. Yeah, we're working on it. I just helped 4 homeowners this week get into a home of their dreams. Some of you guys might have seen it on my Instagram stories. I bought a brand new house, subject to, I bought it with an agent. I got the agent paid. I got the seller paid. And Heather, the agent who did that deal with me, she's going to be coming on the second we close that deal. She's going to come on and do a Get Creative podcast with me and talk about the experience and how easy it was. We're going to show the closing documents, and we're going to show all the things just to prove to you guys that creative finance transactions are happening every day. Real estate agents do them with me every day. And I make more money in creative finance than I did in wholesale, ever did in fix and flip. I still wholesale, and you can wholesale creative finance and you can fix and flip creative finance. But I never made the kind of money I make in wholesaling as I do with creative finance. And the reason being is because I can do so many more things in creative finance than I ever could in just cash offers. I can also pay people way more money with creative finance than I ever could have with cash offers. And honestly, as one of the best closers in the nation for wholesale transactions, I kind of got sick of lowballing people, just to be honest. I got sick of lowballing people. I got sick of telling people I'll pay 50 cents on the dollar for your house. And I really take pride in making more money. Like, think about how crazy this is. A wholesaler goes into the same house, 123 Main Street as me. They offer $50,000. I walk into that same house and I offer $100,000, and I make more money than the wholesaler who offered 50. That is the power of creative finance. Okay. That is the power of creative finance. So, Pace, what do you think about the Pennsylvania market? I love the Pennsylvania market. It's blowing up. I think it's amazing. Pace, does someone talk to you about re-entering Sub2? No, I don't make any money from my Sub2 mentorship. A company runs that named NewReach. I make money with my students. So when you guys pay for a mentorship, that goes to a company called NewReach. I just want to make sure you're committed when you join the community. For me, the main thing that I wanted is committed, filtered people to do deals with. And so I buy a lot of real estate with my students inside of Sub2. So Man Bun Real Estate, reach out to support@sub2.com to get back in. Dominique Natali says, I don't know. I can't find it. That's CREXI, Crexi.com. Okay. Love it. You found it. Awesome. What about the Pace? Find me a house I heard about. Let's talk about it. Let's see here. Let me invite some of you guys to the chat. We can chat about this. Makes it a lot easier to actually talk to you guys. Okay. Here we go. Dominique, and let's see. Who's the other person that just brought it up? Okay, I just gave you guys a link. It's in the side chat, streamyard.com/KUZCZZZ, blah, 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 all that. If you guys take that link and you copy and paste it, you can come in and actually ask me a question live and chat with me for a couple of seconds. So SRR, whoever your name is, Hendrix Capital, looks like your logo is. Come in here, let's chat. What country is Cody Barton in now? I don't know, actually. I think he just got back from Arizona. Him and I don't talk a lot. We own a bunch of businesses together. I'm going to be going to dinner with Rob Abasolo tonight. Okay. How do you make more money creative financing over wholesale? Because of cash flow and appreciation? No, Daniel. Here, come in here. Let's chat. I gave you the link, Daniel. It's in the side chat. Let's chat about it. I'm going to be on here for about 20 minutes. I'm going to be on here for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to go to dinner with Rob Abasolo. Is there a site you can go to buy a car on Creative Finance? Yes, Craig Rogers. You can go to our Creative Finance with Pace Morby Facebook group. Okay, cool. I wish I could pronounce your name. I'm going to try, okay? Anudi Lara or Anadi Anning.
That's close enough.
How do I say it?
Anaudi.
Anaudi Laura.
Yes.
So what can I do for you? What question do you have for me today?
So I've been following you for a long time now. And I guess this is the year I'm going to start doing the work. what do you think about the idea of becoming a, a real estate agent and use your system, creative finance, but as a real estate agent? Because I hear you when you say that you need more people that knows, more real estate agents that knows about creative finance, and I think I know a lot about it.
I don't know why anybody would want to be a real estate agent. Why would being an agent benefit you? How would it help you?
It will help me educate more people that are not familiar with creative finance.
Real estate agents don't learn creative finance.
That's my point. I hear you talking about the unicorn agents.
Okay, so here's what a unicorn agent is, okay? It's a real estate agent who worked as a real estate agent for a couple of years and then said, wow, being an agent is actually not a way to become a real estate investor. Real estate agents don't learn about investing. They never will. They never have. Their broker doesn't teach them. None of their classes teach them. Their license doesn't teach them even how to value a piece of property. Never. You will never learn any of those things as a real estate agent, not one time. Okay. So what happens is real estate agents wake up 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years in the business and say, oh my gosh, I've wasted my whole life only learning how to be a real estate agent. Okay. See, Patty's Realty says, I did only through you. So Patty did learn creative finance, but after she was an agent for a long time, she came to me. I'm not an agent, and I will never become an agent. I think being an agent actually is a detriment for me and my personality. I think it does not benefit me. I actually think it slows me down. There is no benefit for me being a real estate agent at all. And so you say, well, Pace, I hear you say that a lot of people don't know creative finance. Well, then learn creative finance and just teach everybody. Why do you need to be a licensed agent?
I just thought it was going to be just a plus.
No, it's not a plus. If it was a plus, I would have done it a long time ago. Okay. It is not a plus. Being a real estate agent, I'm sorry, I might hurt some people's feelings in here. Being a real estate agent trains you how to work for other people. Okay. It is a job. If you are trying to be a real estate investor, do not go be a real estate agent first, ever. I know a lot of real estate investors who start as a real estate investor and then go get their license only to save money on their own real estate listings. That's the only benefit to them. They don't start as an agent and then become an investor. In fact, that's the most challenging way to get started as a real estate investor is start as an agent. Because agents are trained a very opposite way of real estate than real estate investors are. Agents don't learn how to value property. They don't learn creative finance. They don't learn cash flow. They don't learn accounting. They don't learn any of those things. In fact, look in the side chat and you will get a lot of agents. How many agents in here feel like your real estate agent school was a waste of your time and that nothing you learned in that school is being used today? Tell my friend, Daniel Ramos is shaking his head yes in the background. Okay. So MLS is a good resource, but not the only one. There you go. 87% of real estate 80% of real estate agents never buy an investment property. Okay. There you go. It is a big waste of time. So do not go that route. Just learn how to be a real estate investor. That's it.
All right. If anybody needs help, or I would like to be part of a group in South Florida, please text me, or I don't know how I can get in contact with anybody in the South Florida market, because I'm ready to go.
The easiest thing to do is join my community and you will meet thousands of people in every single city across the country. Familias disciplinas missionarias. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Hey, Pace, thanks. I didn't think I would get on, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. What do you got for me tonight?
Well, It's about a creative finance situation that the seller, the agent told me, well, this guy's a millionaire. He doesn't really need to sell. He's asking 1.8, 39 lots. It's just land in a small little town in California. Now, if this would be a creative finance deal, how would I offer it as just up the price of the 1.8 to make money on a wholesale?
Okay, so let's go through and kind of break this down. Number one, every real estate agent you ever talk to is always going to use the one-liner of my seller is not in a rush. My seller does not need to sell. My seller is not in pain. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that from an agent, okay? They have not even talked to the seller. They don't know whether the seller's in a rush or not. Agents rarely know that. So that's the first thing I would write down. Second thing I would write down is, what's your name?
Alfred Trevino.
Okay, so Mr. Trevino, here's the next thing I would write down. You need way more leads. Way more leads. You have one lead active right now, it sounds like. Do you agree with this?
I do agree, yes.
Okay, so what I find, and how do I know that? You and I are just talking about this for the first time. How do I know you only have one lead and you don't have enough leads? How did I know that?
Probably because I'm talking about a $1 million property.
Yes. I mean, you could be in California and that could be kind of average for that area. That's not entirely the reason, but a big reason why I know that is because you have what I call one-itis. You have one lead and you obsess over that one lead and you figure out every possible way to get that lead done. The best way to get a lead done is have more leads than you can handle. Okay. And for example, let's say, Mr. Trevino, were you ever in the dating game?
Was I up in the dating scene?
Younger,
yeah.
The dating scene did you ever try and date women?
Of course.
Okay. Did you ever have women play games with you?
All the time.
Okay. And what was the fix to that ailment? The fix to that ailment was getting a different woman and not playing that game and just going, I'm not going to play your game. And then what happens to that woman that was playing games with you?
She all of a sudden wanted you more.
There you go. It works the exact same way with leads. When you are calling that agent and when you are calling your sellers and that's the only lead you have and they start playing games and they say stupid things like my seller's not in a rush to sell. Okay, then why did he hire you, idiot? Right? Why wouldn't agents are so dumb? Oh, my seller's not in interest, they're not in a rush to sell. Then why did they hire you?
Right. And
if they're not in a rush to sell, they could have just not put the house on the market.
Right. And I drive by this piece of land all the time and it's got a sign up 39 lots. And it's been there for months. And that's why I said, you know what, I'm brand new to this. I've been watching some videos and stuff. And I said, you know what, maybe that'd be a good candidate for that. But
okay, so
that's a question
I'm going to go through a couple of things that I wish somebody told me when I was obsessing over leads. Okay. So there's one thing that you should be obsessing over and it's not the seller and it's not the agent. Who should we be obsessing over? The buyer. You don't even know what a buyer would pay for this.
Right.
And you don't even know what they would do with it. So think about this. Okay. Mr. Trevino, let's say you and I partner on a sandwich shop. Okay. You give me a bunch of money and you say, Pace, I want to invest in you. And I go out, Mr. Trevino, and I buy a bunch of tuna and I buy a bunch of like rye bread and tuna. And I just start buying rye bread and tuna. And you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I got a good deal on it, man. I got a good deal on the tuna and the rye bread. And then we go open up the sandwich shop and people start coming in the sandwich shop. Do you think everybody's going to order tuna and rye bread?
Absolutely not.
Wouldn't you be pissed off as my investor if I didn't do the market research on what type of meat, cheese, and bread I should have bought for our customer?
I would, yeah.
So what you're doing right now, Mr. Trevino, is you are chasing down a tuna supplier and trying to get a really good deal on tuna, and you don't even know if our buyers want that. Isn't that interesting to put it that way?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's true.
So you always have to ask the question of who is the buyer on this deal? And what are they going to do with this deal? How are they going to make money? That's the first question you should ask. And you haven't asked that deal. And maybe you have it like, oh, well, somebody's going to develop. Okay, well, how much are they going to make? Well, I don't know. Well, then what are you doing? Why are you negotiating with a seller or negotiating with an agent if you don't even know what your buyer is going to make? This is why wholesaling is so hard, is because every wholesaler goes directly to the seller and directly to the agent, and they're sitting there negotiating on something they have no clue what the heck it should be negotiated for. The question you should ask today is, where do I find the buyer for this deal? That's the question you should ask.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So let me tell you how to do that. Okay. This is called wholesaling. What you are doing is reverse wholesaling. You're doing it the opposite way. It's the way that everybody teaches you this. Okay. Dominique Natalie, she says, how do I find tenants? Section 8. Stop asking these questions, guys. You don't even have a house to put the tenants in. Why are you asking a question about where do I find Section 8 tenants? Go learn how to find a deal. Do you see how backwards that is, Mr. Trevino? That people ask questions like, hey, Pace, how do I find a tenant for a Section 8 deal? I already know she doesn't even have a Section 8 house.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see is it rocket science to realize that everybody's asking the wrong questions?
It sounds like we've all heard it from somewhere.
Okay. And didn't I also just break this down in a very simple way that you're like, why? What? You're right. Why would I be negotiating with an agent and a seller if I don't even know who my customer is? Because who's the customer of the agent and the seller, Mr. Trevino? Who's the customer?
The buyer that's gonna.
You are.
Buy this.
You are the buyer. And so you need to write that down, Mr. Trevino. When you are talking to an agent and a broker, you are the customer. Do not let an agent push you around. You are the customer. Do you go into Walmart and let them push you around?
No.
Then why do you let an agent and a seller push you around? Is because you've forgotten that you are the customer. You are the buyer.
Right.
Okay.
It's easy to forget that. I know. Yeah.
It is, because idiots on YouTube have taught you the wrong way. The right way is Mr. Trevino needs to go and do what 99% of wholesalers will never do, which is why 99% of wholesalers never get a deal. You need to go to the permits and planning department in your city. Dominique Natalie, do you do Section 8? Yes, I do Section 8. But stop asking about Section 8 questions and ask a question about where do I find a Section 8 home? And how do I get a deal under contract? Stop worrying. You're asking me about letter Z when you haven't even learned how to pronounce letter A. You're asking, hey, Pace, how do you pronounce Z? And I go, well, when you go through the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and you say, well, I don't know A, B, C, D. I'm asking about Z. Wait, you're telling me you're asking me about letter Z, but you've not learned ABC? Everybody that's new is getting the cart before the horse. Do you see how Mr. Trevino is getting the cart way before the horse? He's sitting there, one, forgetting his place. You forgot that you are the boss of that situation, Mr. Trevino. You need to go to the public permits and planning department of your county.
Of the county? Okay. I thought it was the city. Okay, county.
County and city are the same thing, basically. And you need to go down there and see who is pulling active permits on these types of zoned properties. And the city's going to say, well, what property? And you go, well, I'm looking at this piece of land. I want to see what is it zoned and who is actively pulling permits. Okay. Who is actively pulling permits for these types of zoned land? And guess what they're going to give you, Mr. Trevino? They're going to give you a list of people who have pulled permits to develop properties on land just like the one you are actively looking at right now.
Okay.
And what do we do with that? We then call those people and say, hey, my name is Mr. Trevino. I run around town. I look for deals for people just like you. And I've got a piece of land. I'm wondering and curious what you would do with it and what you would offer for it. And I'll go and get it under contract for you. Anthony Johnson says, wow, this is a cheat code. No, it's not a cheat code. It's the way it should be done.
I mean, it's just I've watched you know your content, and you make it sound so simple, and I know it can be, but for someone who's just looking for their first one, man, I'm gonna follow this to the T, you know.
Okay.
And when I get my first deal, I'm gonna call you back.
Follow it to a T and come back to me. Okay. The buyer will become, Mr. Trevino, your buyers will become your best friends. They will be your golf buddies. They will go on double dates with you. You will be best, like workout buddies with these people. These are not just customers of yours. These will become your friends. And so you need to go to the permit and planning department, talk to them. Who is pulling permits for these? Who's actively pulling permits? This is public data. They have to legally give it to you. Okay. But what happens is people go watch other YouTube channels that are not live and are not talking to you as an individual about your specific situation. And so you're taking advice from people that are doing an algorithm video. They're trying to chase the algorithm. Do you know what that means?
I don't.
That means that they put a YouTube video, they sit there and they script a YouTube video based on how it will perform on YouTube, not based on what the proper answer is. And so if you're actively going out there and you're learning only on YouTube, you're going to get stuck all the time. And so what you've learned, which is go reach out to sellers, go look at deals, put offers in. Brother, we need customers before we know what kind of meat and cheese to buy for our deli. We need to ask our customers, do you guys like ham and Swiss or turkey and provolone? Okay, so what you're doing is you're going and finding the customer and you're saying, hey, customer, I know you like sandwiches because I can see that you bought a sandwich right down the road. I'm just wondering, what kind of sandwiches are you actively buying right now, and what will you buy this one for me? Right. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you so much.
No problem. Guys, no problem. Guys, I'm cutting this one short. I'm going to dinner with Rob Abasolo and a handful of other people. Love you guys so much. I appreciate you. I will see you guys next week. We're going to bring on Heather, the real estate agent, and we're going to be doing a deal breakdown on a deal I just closed to show you guys that I'm doing deals with active real estate agents. I will see you guys next week on Get Creative. See you later, Mr. Trevino.
Thank you.